Early contact, late 19th, early 20th century. The U.S. had limited involvement with Vietnam when it was under French colonial rule as part of French Indochina. At this time, the United States was more focused on its own expansion in the Pacific, and Vietnam's struggle for independence wasn't a primary concern for the U.S. government. World War II, 1941 to 1945. During World War II, Vietnam was occupied by Japan. The U.S. supported the Vietnamese independence movement led by Ho Chi Minh, the Viet Minh, in their fight against Japanese forces. Though the U.S. didn't directly back Vietnam's independence, it saw the Viet Minh as a useful ally against the Japanese occupation. This was the beginning of a complex relationship that would later shape U.S.-Vietnam ties. First Indochina War, 1946 to 1954. After World War II, France tried to reassert control over Vietnam, leading to the First Indochina War. The U.S., during the Cold War, supported the French as part of its broader strategy to prevent the spread of communism. Despite U.S. financial and military support, the French were defeated at the Battle of Dien Bien Phu in 1954, and Vietnam was split into Communist North Vietnam, led by Ho Chi Minh, and non-communist South post-war period, 1975 to 1995. After the Vietnam War, the U.S. imposed a trade embargo and severed diplomatic ties with Vietnam, citing concerns over the country's communist government. Vietnam, meanwhile, struggled with economic difficulties and its own internal issues, including the aftermath of the war and conflicts with neighboring Cambodia and China. During this period, the U.S. viewed Vietnam through the lens of Cold War geopolitics. Vietnam, backed by the U.S. Strategic partnership. In the 21st century, the U.S. and Vietnam have developed a strategic partnership, particularly in areas of regional security. Both countries cooperate in countering China's growing influence in the South China Sea and share interests in maintaining peace and stability in the Asia-Pacific region. Additionally, there has been an increase in people-to-people exchanges, with more Vietnamese students studying in the U.S. and growing tourism between the two countries. This marks the transition from a history of war and division to a modern relationship of cooperation and partnership.